Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to more Super Star Wars here on the HeavyBase channel, and now we're on the board of the Millennium Falcon. Let's get off Tatooine and let's look for the princess. The soldiers be like, damn, we let that one get away. He's gonna kill us, and we're skipping right to the Death Star? Really? We're skipping the We're going straight to the Death Star, eh? Well, this is the longest stretch of levels in the game. Now that we're literally inside, we're gonna go into we're starting off the next level at the Death Star's hangar bay. Seriously, we skipped like a TIE defense bit, and we skipped the bit with the TIE fighters. This game really doesn't want to fuck around. I can pretty much see why this is the least popular of the three. Anyway, play Chewbacca again. This time we're going up against now we're going to be facing an entire slew of Imperial droids and TIE fighters. Don't forget the TIE fighters. Seriously though, that's all you're going to be getting. Also, you need to get used to high jumping because it's the only way to avoid the TIE fighters are giant threats all by themselves. Also, you need to use that to cross the pits. At least it gives you a health sword, which is true. All you just need to do is hold up at the jump button and you got these. Seriously, this is the elite. The Jawas are gone. Seriously, it's all Imperial it's all Imperials from here on. It's all Imperial soldiers from here on out. And droids, and all manner of droids. It's a lot of droids, just saying. You can need to keep doing this, because this is a long segment of the game. I just like to put all the Death Star episodes into one video, so you'll be seeing the you're seeing this, and then you'll be seeing another level, and then you're basically getting another way out. But it does kind of skip a lot. The one criticism I've had is that they had to skip a lot of the boring scenes in order to make a game that's sort of exciting. It's okay, it's memorable, but it's not what we call an authentic Star Wars experience. Even though technically it's like, you know, takes a fucking long time. Because, well, to be honest, the film's kind of the film's memorable, but half the film is complete filler. Half of it is complete boring as fuck. And then you go to Death Star, and then it just gets exciting with the conclusion to the film, which is the Battle of Yavin. And I'm pretty sure everyone, their grandfathers and their grandparents have seen Star Wars by now. If you haven't, then what the fuck are you doing? Go watch Star Wars. Even though the spoilers have been there for nearly 30, 40, 50 years, it's still an enjoyable film. Extra Life. It's still a good film. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's half the film is boring and some of the was exciting. It's still good fun to watch. I mean, doesn't get old. And you're better off waiting for the original cuts to come out on on Blu-ray, which Disney are going to do eventually. They are coming out. It's the one thing that. It's ironic that Disney are going to be giving us the entire full list of giving the whole world the original films that were released in the 70s in crystal freaking Blu-ray, which is the made equivalent of why they bought it. And then at the same time, they fucked over George Lucas' edits once and for all. So, we've pretty much reached all that. We've reached the end of the boss. It's an Imperial Defense Droid, and it's seriously, this boss is easy. All you have to do is not get trapped in a corner like that, and just keep shooting at the back, at the exposed part, which is the big huge red thing. That's the end of the first level of the Death Star, and we're going to be moving on to the next part of the thing, which kind of skips quite a few things, but we're heading straight. Well, apart from picking character, because we're going to choose Han. That was the last time we'll be seeing Chewie in this story. No, seriously, that is the last. Rescuing of the princess. In other words, we're at the detention cells. This is sort of a tricky level because you're going up against a fuck ton of hazards in this one. Drones. Those are the things that go beep 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 boop boop boop. Laser thingies. Quite a few things, really. And at the same time, I'd just like to point out this game skipped a whole lot of scenes. I mean, the only minor complaints they skipped what was it? They skipped Luke's aunt and uncle's death. That's got significant meaning to the film. It actually drives the whole point that innocence is gone. Well, I wouldn't exactly say their innocence, that's just more their unfortunate victims. Fortunate victims that, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, this is the level's big hazard. These crushing poles. You have to use your, you have to time your forward rolls and then your jump mechanics. Otherwise, you will get crushed and you will lose a life. I'm not kidding. I'm just gonna say this is an alright game. The problem is though, it suffers from what many people suffered in the olden days, and that is of course the SNES hard difficulty, and that's about it. I'm not really done. Now we gotta go up the east. Oh, gotta go up now. Luckily for us, we can take advantage of the somersault technique, or just wait for the planes to go down. That's about it. There we go. Rise to the occasion. There you go. Perfect. Nothing else there. Seriously. It's alright. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just probably something I might not play again, because, you know, once you play a game and you realize, it's not too bad, then you just come to the realization that it's okay, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a slow person. I just never played this when I was younger. I never had these games. I played them when I was younger, but I never actually owned any of the cartridges. Maybe I can add them because they're worthy third-party titles, but oh boy. Oh boy. Not much else you can say, really. These are the longest levels of the game. The 3 parts are here at the Death Star. They are the longest parts, and they actually serve quite a good portion of the level, because, you know, it just gonna go straight. The game pretty much, if you want a similarly hard experience, by the way, I know I don't like going off topic a lot, but if you want to have an experience, you have played the Indiana Jones trilogy for the SNES. It's a sort of similar situation there. Same hard difficulty as it was in these, except they tend to they just choose the best bits of the trilogy of Indiana Jones films. No Temple of the Crystal Skull for that one, and even then, that was not exactly George Lucas's choice. Which is more interesting. The fact was that a little game that was known as basically the Infernal Machine was going to be, if the Infernal Machine team had not have been told to they wanted to do Temple of the Crystal Skull and actually make a decent idea. George Lucas told them, no, I want to use that idea. I want it. I think it was also another rejection because the internet at the time was getting sick of another character called Shia LaBeouf. That's probably the reason why the film flopped so badly, is because the classic Indiana Jones faithful were not willing to accept that Shia LaBeouf was Indy's son. People were like, no, we're not accepting that. It's still a polarizing film. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's sort of sci-fi-ish, but again, just like pointing it out, you can do a lot of. Anyway, moving on to the Detention Guard. This is another easy boss. All you have to do is just basically shoot right at the Stormtrooper, or just shoot where the yellow with the red beacon is. You may want to wait till you're underneath it, then do it, or just shoot at it, just like I'm doing here. That's really about it. And if you're probably thinking, if I'm making this so I wasn't expecting a Hell Sword this late. I'll take that. And that's about it for the boss. Now it's just basically a detention boss without sentry, and you can just shoot it for so much. And at the level ends, we arrive at Princess Leia's bloody holding cell. That was conveniently quick. And she's like, hello! Woof. Of course, Carrie Fisher unfortunately has not aged very well. Believe me, she's not aged particularly well. I think a lot of people can agree to that. Okay, time to deactivate the tractor beam, and we can get out. The tractor beam was not was not even in the film. Or at least as far as I know, anyway. This is the last official character. So we said goodbye to Han, we said goodbye to Chewie, now we're going to say goodbye to Luke. Because technically, there's one last final level coming up. And Luke gets the lowest health out of the characters. I mean, he does have the lightsaber, but he is got the lowest health. Kind of a bit weird. Anyway. This is a vertical level, so what you need to do is you need to go up the chambers. Up the elevators till we get to the tractor beam, or once we get to the tractor beam, we're gonna have the means to get off the Death Star. Just wait for that to happen. True. Got lucky there. Got very lucky. Head up to here. Well, you're facing stormtroopers and lots of laser sentries at this point. Including guns and all that stuff. They are trying to stop you from getting away because, well, you have the Princess to the Rebel Alliance. You got one of the leaders of the Rebel Alliance with you, and they want to stop you because, you know, she has the because that little R2-D2 unit's got the Death Star plans, and well, you know, and the fact that they're actually, oh, I was going to mention, the Rogue One is coming out. Rogue One's coming out, which is basically which is going to be basically detailing how the plans were stolen in the first place. I like the fact that Disney are just highlighting the important moments of the film, just because they're building padding time for Episode 8, which is going to see more Luke prevalence because Han Solo's dead. Fuck Abrams. Seriously. Then again, those that create the films, Star Wars wasn't even that popular. I mean, the Empire still remains the best film and was recently classed as the best film of all time. Mind you, Empire was dark. Empire was very dark. If you've never seen Empire Strikes Back, go ahead, you might as well go watch that film. I'll tell you right now, that film is very dark. Very, well, I would say very realistic, very gripping, and, you know, it just pretty much does not have a happy ending. It never does. And there's that twist. So get the lightsaber out ready. We now have the power beam to the tractor. We'll go get rid of these, and now we should shoot upwards to the power core. Because literally, we have the best view. All you have to do is just shoot straight up using the plasma rifle. But that'd be a bit too simple, right? Yeah, it would be a bit too simple. It would be very simple. Just keep shooting up. Just stay where you are down here, just shoot upwards, and then that health would drop. When the health drops sufficiently, you can go ahead and basically lightsaber the damn thing. And that is the end of the tractor beam core. And with that, we're going to be getting off the Death Star. So next time, for some reason, it is the final part next episode. See you then.